All right. Good evening, everyone. This is the CSRN Weekend Review, our weekly podcast where we come and talk to you about some of the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, and a couple of things that we got coming up in the future. And what we're going to do right now, we're going to play our intro video, Jody. That way everyone can let everyone know that we're live, that they can like, stream, share, and comment on the podcast. Give us a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. Hey, that was kind of smooth. All right. Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, or our weekend review. And as I said before, this is where we come and report out some of the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now. And some of the things that we got coming up is Women's History Month. And we got a dynamic set of sisters here today that we'd like you to know. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I use the pronouns he and him. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. Is it 8, almost 9 years ago, Jody?
Yeah.
They had this idea that just regular people could speak truth to power. Then they brought me on to help with some of the planning, and here we are still making it happen today. For anyone that's visually impaired, I am, I don't know, medium brown, middle-aged man, but I'm pretty good shape for that, all right? Just to let you know, all right? Don't try nothing. I got a black hat on. I've got some gray glasses that I got from Twix, from Optical Twix in between. See my sister, Kristen Moncrief. She has the bus. I got on the bus, ordered my glasses. They came in, as you see. These are just as good or better than anything you could get anywhere else. Got on a dark gray shirt. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and justice or else. I think that I covered everything. Also, I've got on my beads today from Bomaye, my brother Shaheem Hampton. If you see him, get some beads. These are top class beads. And also I've got my Galaxy watch, so I keep track of my steps. All right, I got to stay in shape. All right, it's like that. Hey, Jody, if you could introduce yourself, then we're going to get to the mission statement. We got the guiding principle, and then we've got, as you've seen on the on our event page, we got She Speaks. Here we've got Mother Diane Gordon, Toledo Kwanzaa House, who has bars like this. That's what She Speaks says, and I don't know who has bars like that. I know I don't. So, Jody, if you could introduce yourself, what do you got on? And it looks like you got a couple of new crystals, all right?
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. So, yeah, I'm here. We here. You see our special guests and stuff like that. For those of you that are listening, whether it be on Spotify, on Facebook Live, or that are catching us live on YouTube or the replay, and I hope if you're driving or anything out that, you're not getting distracted. But for the visually impaired and for those that just like to hear the sound of my sultry voice.
And that's a lot of people.
I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and bones and stones from my travels of being an independent, self-taught, which I love saying that every time somebody asks me where I learned my stuff from, artist, creator, author, illustrator, elected official, board member, all these other things, filmmaker, and stuff that kind of make our community great.
All right.
It's one of the reasons why I believe you will do better in Toledo and all that good stuff.
Okay, all right. All right, no, we were doing that, but all right, go ahead.
For the clothing that I'm wearing, of course, there's always something from Toledo. The hat is mine. Clothing is, I never know which organization. Let's see if Brother Washington can read it.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the Buffalo Soldiers.
That
right?
it is.
Hey, that's my man, Earl Mack.
Yep,
all right, and the Buffalo Soldiers.
Event that we had a couple years ago in
Yes,
conjunction with Hipstock Foundation, which will be coming back. One of the board members there. So we are ramping up our season, getting ready to figure out what we're going to be located at for this year's Hoodstock. And of course, we got Juneteenth and all that good stuff coming up. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Wristbands and all, more companies and organizations than I do have wristbands and stuff. Yeah, sometimes people walk by the door and say hello, so I got to wave at them. But I'm waving at y'all too.
Yeah.
But so for those of you out there that are just now starting a nonprofit organization or even jumping into a career you never thought you would, there's some stuff you have to have, and one of them being a very good foundation.
That's right. And that's our mission statement. And that solidifies who we are. And it's hard to co-opt us when you know who you are.
Oh, yeah,
all right?
Nobody pays my check.
That's right.
So this is how you get to that point to where we can still stand strong 9 years without any sponsors, any handouts, anything like that. Just a couple community members that, you know, sometimes stick around, sometimes are behind the scenes, or sometimes go off to fund their own nonprofit and grassroots organizations, or even become political members, like our awesome member Sheena.
That's right.
On to be
president of the school board.
Exactly.
All right.
So this is our mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right. And before we get to our guiding principles, that thing that holds everything together, I like to always talk about our Black Lives Matter moment. We've been doing this for 8 years, going on 9, from 2014 to 2023. What's one of the events? It could be a protest, a giveaway, or a political forum. What's one of the things that stuck out to you?
Let's see. Last week I did our movie theaters. I think this week would be the scholarships. Yeah. As the world was, or some organizations were off chasing ambulances and getting mad and exposing certain photos, we were giving out scholarships, making sure that our future is secured by trying to give them a helping hand with their education, which not many people, yes, you see celebrities and stuff like that, but as I've gotten older in my multiple careers, a lot of that is tax write-offs. So it's nice, but I know they're doing it just to say, hey, put that over there. For what we did was literally go out, ask our neighbors, our strangers, our friends that we have some kids. They wrote some essays. They're being graded by actual teachers and professionals. And would you like to help give them a gift to send them off to college?
And I think it was $1,000 for first prize.
Yep.
500 for second. I think it was 250. So we had a lot of people to shake down. All right. Hey,
that's his job.
Okay.
I
That's
just
right.
protect the money. I'm the treasurer here.
That's right. That's right. Now I'm the shakedown king. All right.
So out in traffic.
Right. One of the things that stands out to me is when we have Black August and we have our CSRN takeover. That's when we give 4 members of our community each Sunday. We give over the administrative controls to a clinician, an educator, a fellow activist, or anyone in the community that's striving to make it a safe and decent place to live to take over our page. And that's been successful every year that we've done that.
Nail biting and scary though.
Right. Well, hey, it is what it is. That's what we do. All right. So we learn from our mistakes and our victories, who to turn our page over. All right. That's all right. Hey, it is what it is. Hey, listen, I'm going to get into our guiding principles. Then we're going to take a short break and come back with Mother Gordon.
Awesome.
These are the CSRN guiding principles. One of the things about ad hoc groups or grassroots groups, since there's no titles, we don't use titles like president or anything here. I think the only person that really has a title is Jody, because for whatever nickels, pennies, and dimes that people donate for us to do something like a Juneteenth or a mayoral forum, we have to have someone that's going to be accountable for that. Other than that, we just come together, and one of the ways to keep us from imploding is to have some principles, almost like Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of took a lot of this from Kwanzaa, but we ain't gonna tell Kwanzaa because they be coming at us. But hey,
remember to do our Nguzu Saba.
Yeah, we get our word for today too. But these are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And Ashe means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energies, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
And while we're on this, Jody, I want to go ahead and do our Nguzu Saba word of the day. Today is Ujima. That means collective work and responsibility. And what does that mean? It means to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems and solve them together. So we, Ashe.
Ashe.
So, so even though we got Mother Gordon here, we still got to give some respect, all right, that we do Kwanzaa all year, all right? Because we Black all year.
24/7,
At least that's what the
365.
police say when they stop me, right?
Yeah.
All right, all right.
But
Yeah.
except we don't mention that during Black History Month because we respect our ancestors and their dutiful sacrifices to have that month. But on the 29th, I think next year's a leap year, or the 1st, then it's 365.
Okay, all right. I didn't understand any of that math, but hey, it is what it is. Some of y'all did. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with Mother Diane Gordon. This is the CSRN weekly podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call Digital Edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, Brother Gordon, we're live now. You can say whatever you want. Hey, listen, we are back. This is the CSRN, our weekly podcast, or our podcast weekend review, where we come to you live, and we're streaming from Mott Branch Library, or Mott Conde, as some call it. And as always, whenever we have a special guest, we ask our guests who they are and what do they do. So we've got a dynamite, beautiful, beautiful guest today. Who are you? What are you wearing? All right. And what do you do?
My name is Mrs. Diane Gordon, and I am the coordinator for the annual Kwanzaa celebration.
That's right.
And habari gani to you.
Yes, ma'am. Ujima. All right.
Wonderful. Today is Ujima, Collective Work and Responsibility, and that's all of our responsibility. Right. So I'm a very active person.
Okay.
I like to stay busy. I like to give back to my community. And there's always a bunch of energy when I come around the young people.
Okay, I guess that includes me. Yes. All right, okay, all right. Let me know how much you want. All right. Hey, listen, what do you have on?
Oh, well, I just decided to put on a jacket and a sweater today and come on out and join you for a minute. And to see how you're doing.
Oh, ma'am, I'm doing fine, Mom. I'm doing fine. It's just a blessing to be able to be here on National Women's History Month. And sometimes when we talk about history, it appears that we honor the people that are ancestors that have moved on.
Yes.
But we're making history while we're alive, too.
Yes, we are.
So I wanted to ask you about Toledo Kwanzaa House. You are the chairperson, the leader, the person that tells us all what to do. How did that happen?
I think we work collectively together.
Okay, all right.
What I do is that I find our community has people who are willing to give up some time,
yes,
and energy to bring our people together to learn, empower them, and to show them how to use the Nguza Saba all year long. And so we are in the midst of Black History all year long. We started in December.
Right.
We're still going. Our next program is March the 18th at the Frederick Douglass Center. We're going to be talking about Black Wall Street.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the history of how we accomplished so much to get it destroyed, and we can do it again. And also is that we'll be talking about the Frederick Douglass Center itself.
Okay.
And Frederick Douglass, the man, the leader, the abolitionist, and his oratorical speeches. And so we are very excited because we have some young people who are going to be participating. They awesome. Even wrote a song about Frederick Douglass.
Okay, all right.
And so we have some poetry that is going to take place. And the time is from 2 to 6 at the Frederick Douglass on the 18th. But we're still busy.
Okay,
we got another one in April. And we have, we'll be attending and participating in the MLK with the Monroe Street Church.
Isn't that Breaking the Silence?
Yeah, Breaking the Silence. And this is my 4th year participating.
Okay.
And it's always wonderful to see so many of our organizations to come together and be a part of that. And so they have quite a few young people who are going to participate again this year.
That's great.
Yes.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about some of the programs that the Toledo Kwanzaa House is doing. And you talked about Black Wall Street. Mm-hmm. And most times when we talk about activism and revolution, economics is always left out. You know, we could talk about police brutality. We could talk about all type of politics, voting or the voting rights.
Yes.
but economics is left out. Why is it important that we talk about the economic side of our liberation?
It's important that we invest in ourselves.
Okay.
And invest in our community. We have been taught that Black is bad. And so we go out, we spend our money outside of our community.
Man. Go ahead,
And we
sister.
need to spend it within our community to build our community. If you want to see change, stop spending your money at Franklin Park. If you want to see change, you have to stop wasting your money. You have to invest in your child education and also into your daily lives of making sure that you have all the necessities that you need, not your wants,
Right.
but your necessities.
Right.
And so what we're asking, if we want to make a difference in our community, we need to take our money and invest it in our community. We should be owning the stores on Dorr Street,
That's right.
the food counters on Detroit Avenue.
That's right.
We should be able to take Swain Field and make it our own. It is our empowerment that is going to make a change. And so wherever we find that we can make a difference, we must teach everyone how to empower themselves.
All right. And those are valid points. Unfortunately, Mother Gordon, when I'm trying to let people know things like that, sometimes I hear people say, well, why do we have to spend with ourselves when we already have Franklin Park Mall? You know, we already have Levis Commons. What is it to say when people, say things like that? How do you say it? That way I can go back.
I really say, I ask them, does Franklin Park or any part of that help you pay your rent?
No.
Do they help you with your children when they need medical care?
No.
Do they come and help them get scholarships?
No.
So when you think about investment,
That's
you're
right.
invested in them and they don't even live in your city.
That's right.
Most of them live outside of your city. They take their money outside of Toledo. They also do not spend or educate their children in our schools. They find out that most of the people or owners or businesses that are taking our money are not reinvesting it in our community.
That's right. And next time you pull up to any carry out, sometimes look at the license plates of the owner. All right. Most times you'll see some Michigan license plates.
Yes.
All right. It is what it is. They don't pay taxes in our community. Most times they don't pay taxes at all. So we need to do, one of the things that Dr. King said was to redistribute the pain and withhold our economic support. One of the things that we failed to do, and I'm going to blame Jody for this and the whole tech crew, we normally, one of our principles is we honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. Before we start, we always ask our elder for permission. So I'm going to double back and ask you, do we have permission to continue our podcast today, sister?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So why is it important? The last Kwanzaa this year involved so many young people, all right?
One of the things that we must learn to do is that we are getting older, and we're not to do this for a lifetime. We're supposed to train up a child in the way they should go, but also through the education and teaching them how to do what we do now, is organize. And so with that, we want our young people to take over. I don't want to wait until I can't walk.
That's right.
To decide that I need young people to get involved. We involve our young people at every step of the way, teaching them the language, teaching them the principles and how to utilize them. Ask them to participate, ask them to be a part of Kwanzaa. And like I say, we had very young children, anywhere from ages 3 on up.
Right.
We had American culture exchange students.
That's right.
And they are here visiting. They're so excited to be able to get an education in America. Many of the kids that are able to get an education here do not take advantage of it. And
That's correct.
we're trying to encourage them that education is power. They can stop you from playing basketball if your leg is broken, but they can't stop your mind or your understanding. If they take away your hands, you still can read a book and become education and be able to do other skills.
That's beautiful.
So I just encourage us as a people to put our priorities in order, our children, our community. And if we want to really make a change, invest in the Frederick Douglass Center, invest in the classes and
That's right.
opportunities there, because the kids that we are trying to reach are in our community. They need a place to feel safe. They need a place to play and learn some skills. So we are very interested in how our young people are getting their education, how they can learn, how they can be a part of the community. And there are a lot of young people that can lead.
That's
so
right.
We're going to give them an opportunity.
All right. Mother Gordon always asks all of our guests about their origin story. When did you start caring? All right. When did that happen? Or was it a time that you ever didn't care? I remember when I didn't care. All right. I remember that vividly. All right. But
well, I really was brought up caring. My grandmother taught us about sharing when we were planting in our backyard that we gave to the neighbors. My mother, who was with the Quality Education Committee, shared her knowledge with parents so that they could help kids in school. But my interest became so important when I learned that so much of our education was miseducation.
Wow.
And so it was an opportunity to say, wait a minute, if I didn't get it,
that's right,
how come we should let the others not get it? And so it's always been a challenge for me to ask, can we help the next generation?
That's right.
Can we educate the next generation? Can we love the next generation enough to give back to our young people? So I care about everybody's child, not just mine. And I've had foster children. I've raised other people's children, and I got a lot of family and friends that still call me mama, that calls from everywhere. So it's just rewarding to know that you were a part of them getting their education or sending them off to college and making sure that they got the things that they needed.
Hey, before I go, if anyone, if you decided to drop by the Mott Branch Library and check out our set, you'll see a lot of red, black, and green. And I learned about a lot of the red, black, and green flag from you and Minister Charles Muhammad. We would, it said we'd have this march that we do called the Mighty Marcus Garvey, and we're gonna have She Speaks, and she's gonna talk about that. She don't know, but hey, all right. But for regarding Kwanzaa, why is it important to you? Why do you think it's important that we're aware of Kwanzaa, that we're aware of our history, even though we're in 2023? When I was young, we would call 2023 the future. And here we are. The future sucked. But anyway, it don't look nothing like we thought it was. But why is it important to understand what Kwanzaa means and why we should acknowledge it?
Well, we should acknowledge Kwanzaa because it gives us a map to the way we could live throughout the whole year and years to come.
Yeah.
We must have unity within ourselves, the people. And we talk about collective work and responsibility. We talk about building our economics. we talking about our creative kids and young people who are designing and making things, and their voices need to be heard through creativity. Their faith is very important, you know, and so it is a cultural celebration that we need to understand our value and our importance of learning all the Nguza Saba principles. And those 7 principles are a guide for me. I look at unity every day.
That's right.
How do we bind together? How do we utilize our friends to the point where they know what we're doing and we know what they're doing?
That's right.
And bridging that gap of understanding. How do we take all of the economics and put them together? I heard you speak about scholarships.
Yes.
So next time, call me, and maybe
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can help you raise some money too.
All right. Yes, ma'am. We definitely
And so
will.
we want
definitely
to
will.
always encourage you to use your economic power. There is money in Toledo if we want to make a difference in our community. And so I like to ask all of us to use our creative talents
That's right.
and bring about change in our community. Clean up. Just because we see trash down and we didn't put it down there, it's still okay for us to pick it up.
Pick it up. That's
Just
right.
because we live in the ghetto don't mean it's a ghetto, it's inside of us.
All right, I should be writing this down. Hey, Jody. All right. That's right. That's going to be my next poem. All right.
So we really want to encourage all of us to come together and build a better community and leave our kids a legacy of love, understanding, and principle.
All right, family, this is Mother Diane Gordon, Toledo Kwanzaa House, and much, much more. Hey, listen, do you mind coming back periodically so we can have our elder speaks? We got She Speaks coming up. We have our elder speaks. Hey, I've just made up. That's a bar. We'll find out where Robin is, see if that's a bar. We want to thank you for being with us today, Mother Gordon. Thank you so much.
I love being here with you and love sharing. And anytime you would like for me to come back, I would welcome the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Family, this is the CSRN Weekend Review. We'll be right back.
Pathway Incorporated Brothers United program believes that children are important. Every day we support and advocate for fathers because when children have involved fathers, the whole community thrives. The fathers that come into the Brothers United program are mostly young fathers who are primarily gang members or drug dealers or those involved in lots of trauma from the time when they were youth until now. This program has fatherhood classes which teach you about your role as a father, the importance of being a father, healthy relationships, how to co-parent and work better together with your co-parent, and then economic stability, how to get a job, how to keep a job. It is so important for fathers to learn to take care of their children holistically, not just emotionally, not just physically, but financially as well, because children need a holistic approach.
I really just needed help with really being a better father and looking for a job to be able to support my kids.
Some of the problems I was facing when I joined Brothers United was communication with my children. Had some time apart from each other for a while, so they gave me the tools to really get back in communication with them.
Fathers will come into our program with their heads down. 2 weeks later, their heads are up. 3 weeks later, they're laughing and talking. 4 weeks later, they're building a bond. And by the time we get to 8 weeks, they're saying, hey, we want to stay here. What can we do to stay connected?
It gave me a better perspective on how to look at things from other people's point of view. You know, sometimes us as men, we get caught up in being prideful and arrogant, thinking we don't need the help. We do. And we just have to put our pride, selfishness, and arrogance to the side. And when the help is there, take it.
Hope plays the most important role in everything that we do because we have to have hope. We have to remember that fathers are important, and we have to not only say it, but we have to live it We have to breathe it. We have to do it. We have to convey it to everyone.
Let's get a BU Nation on 3, fellas. 1, 2, 3. BU Nation!
The dads give us hope. The dads supply for us on the days when it gets hard. On the days when we've seen more violence than we ever want to see. On the days when we've lost some dads to jail or to murder, they give us hope. And so the hope that lives can change, if you invest in them, if you believe in them, then lives can change.
Brothers United changed my life, let's say, because of where I come from, what I've been through. I learned to understand it is help out there. Don't be scared to ask for it. If you don't reach, you can't grab. That's it.
They made me more employable, more desirable by employers, which in turn helped me provide for my family and provide for my children and my grandchild. So it makes me a better man, a better father, and a better example.
It showed me like how to be better to my kids, so I went and got custody of my son. My son been with me for a couple months now. So this showed me how to be a better parent all around, just a better man, period.
Initially, I didn't know that it could change men's lives. I didn't know that fathers could change. But it's amazing to me when fathers come back a year later, 2 years later, and tell us thank you. Or they'll make a Facebook post and say, look at what I'm doing now. It's amazing to me about the level of work that we've been able to do and the lives that we've changed in just a short period of time. And the fathers who come back and say, thank you, I needed you, and you were there.
And shout out to Brothers United, man. Be you.
Ghetto sophisticated. Ratchet intelligent. Safe to be. Yeah. In a hungry state of mind. In a city where it's pretty, but we all just want to shine. Rock solid, I go harder every time. Baby diamonds in the mud when you wash away the grind. In a hungry state of mind. In a city where it's pretty, but we all just want to shine. Rock solid, I go harder every time. Baby diamonds in the mud when you wash away the grind. Pay attention the way I'm flipping acrobatic. Cold calculated, the mathematics, the flow emphatic. You know who that is, you know what's happening when I go at it. Stars align for the best on the planet. Never planned it, was planted and rooted to it. I just knew to do it, you could do it. Put my fluids to it, blood, sweat, and tears too. Feeling in my womb, pass it on to my kids too. Intro you the rule, never knew to lose. If it's me or you, then it's your funeral. No, they want the crown, but who's suitable? So picture you as me and say what you would do. I'm a movable, that is provable. I'm an animal, I bring this to you. Get eaten too, everything breathing get included too. Gotta screw and lose, Swami great grenade. I salute the truth, but couldn't move and bruise. I sit on my throne alone, never throw a dog a bone. Never show a rat the cheese, never bring them when you wrong. Trying to keep up with the Joneses, I hope they don't get homesick. Following behind me is a long trip. Knapsacks full of rap stacks on my own issue. And that's facts, you can match that. How I'm rolling.
Maybe if the tech team would take me off mute, we had She Speaks. I think that was Diamonds that we was playing. Now, normally at CSRN and on our podcast, we always ask the person to the left of me or to the right of you, however you're seeing this, who are you? What do you do? And what are you wearing?
All right. Okay. So I am She Speaks. I go by She Speaks, which is short for She Speaks Knowledge, because when I was She Speaks Knowledge, they didn't want to hear knowledge, but I still spit knowledge.
All right.
So I'm She Speaks. I am wearing my own logo brand. For those who can't see, it is a beautiful picture of me when my locks were a little shorter.
Okay.
And I love it. Mic in my hand.
All right.
I sell these. So
Okay. All right. And first, where can we get them?
you can reach out to me. www.whoisshespeaks.com is my website. I sell these. I also sell my Who Got Bars Like This t-shirts and that is my slogan, as you were.
Okay,
As you
yeah.
were touching on before.
I was trying to act like it was mine, but you just, all right, you just called me out. Okay, what my slogan, all right?
So I am a literary artist, as I like to be called, a poet. I don't necessarily like to be called a rapper.
Okay.
But I rap.
Okay, all right. All right, look, when did you realize that you could put words together and say them and people would feel it? When did that happen?
You know, it's funny. My story of me beginning to write is kind of a joke.
Okay.
So back in, it must have been 95, waiting to exhale, sitting up in my room, Brandy.
Okay.
So I was doing a remix of Sitting Up in My Room. And you know how parents say that, their spoons and knives and stuff seem to disappear in their kids' room. So
Okay, all right.
I was that kid. And so my mother was asking me, where was her spoons? And so I was sitting up in my room trying to find my mama's spoons. And I made some little silly song about that. And I repeated it to my friends. And I had back then a talk boy.
Okay.
From the Home Alone movie.
All right. Oh, wow.
Series.
Okay.
So I would take tapes, stuff the tissue in them so that I could record over them. Whatever tapes my mother had bought, Mom, please forgive me. I ruined her tapes.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yep.
That's right.
She's forgiven me, of course.
Okay.
Now,
Because I was going to go get her some more cassette tapes
No,
if that's what you want.
No,
All right.
I ruined her
All right.
tapes. I stole her CDs. That's all right.
Okay.
But I would take those tapes and I would stuff the tissue in them so that I could record over them.
Okay.
And I would take the big house CD player. And back then, they used to put instrumentals on the B side of a cassette. So you had the single, and you could play the instrumental. I would take the instrumental, play it off the big stereo, take my talk boy, and then I would use that instrumental to record myself.
All right.
So I would make little remixes, and back then they were just funny, whatever I could come up with to make my friends laugh. And I would take however many tapes, I had around the house, and I would kind of
That's awesome.
either have to pass them around. And so some of my friends, you may have it for a couple days, you may have it for a couple days. And that was my original version of a mix.
Oh, wow.
Tape.
Oh, that's all. That's awesome. What goes into making a poem? What goes into writing a bar? How do you get inspired? And who inspires you?
I am inspired by a lot of times current events. I am inspired by people. I'm inspired by my children. Basically, at this point, I'm 35 years old. I'm living for my legacy at this point. So a lot of times I have something that sits so heavy on my heart that I feel I'm called to write about it. And I can't, move on with my day or move on with my week until I have put something on paper.
Now, for you, for some of the hip hop artists, rappers, and entertainers, sometimes they will come up with the title first. Sometimes they will be inspired by the beat first. When it comes to that, where are you in that?
Well, because most of my lyrics are adaptations of poetry, I have more works that have no beat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I don't always have the beat. So I have a lot of what people would call freestyle works that don't have choruses, they don't have the hook, and then they don't have titles, or I come up with the title at the end because of something that was repeated. I never start with the title. I
All right, that's awesome. All right. Hey, listen, we kind of got a hip hop clinic going on right here. So if you feel inspired to write, you're hearing it from someone that's actually doing it now. All right. Now, other than being a solo artist, because you're not a group. When I clicked on your website, it's just you. All right, what the gang of people. But I know that you've done some collaborations
I have.
before. So what is that like? And what are some of those? What are the names of some of those collaborations? How did it happen? And how well do you work with others?
Well, I find that sometimes people who are not comfortable with themselves are threatened by me in the room.
Okay.
I think that
I get that.
in order to work with me, you have to be, comfortable with yourself and your own level of talent. So I like to work with people who are comfortable.
Okay. All right.
With themselves.
Y'all can take that however you want to take it. All right.
I say that iron sharpens iron.
Okay. Like steel sharpens steel.
Iron,
all right.
Iron sharpens
That's
iron.
right.
And
Okay.
and steel sharpens steel.
All right.
So, but I like to work with everybody. I've never turned anything down. I show up whenever I'm called to show up. And so I have people who inspire me. I think that we are in Toledo is just full of talent. So I have worked with one of my very best friends here is Jay Verse.
Okay.
Together we are both writing clinicians for the Mad Poet Society. We both came up in the Mad Poet Society.
Well, I know Jay. All right. I'm name dropping now.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
All right. I'm out there.
Jay.
I'm out in these streets.
We
right.
work very closely together.
That's beautiful.
I'm currently associated with Boom Click.
Okay.
Boom Click. I just linked up with them here in the last year, which has been fruitful. As far as collaborations go, just this past year, I worked with Chief Alone.
Okay. I just saw he was on, I think he was on there was a television news story about him just recently.
Extremely talented. I'm always happy to work with him. Clemmy, who is doing big things, very big things.
Okay.
With Freeway, the Freedom Thinkers Academy.
Oh, okay. I think I recognize all of these talented young brothers and sisters. Next, I think I'm scrolling through the internet as I do because I'm definitely not working what I'm supposed to be working because Miss Gordon is calling me. I'm at work. All right. Well, I better pick up because she ain't gonna stop calling anyway.
She gonna call.
Right.
I feel like she gonna call.
All right. Were you ever on? Was it the Mud Massacre?
I did the Mud Massacre. When I get to dropping names, forgive me. So let me say this. When I get to dropping names, there are so many people that I work with that I like to give credit to. Big Eddie Bauer is one of the people who have helped me tremendously. I just called Big Eddie Bauer at the drop of a dime the other day because I needed him to clean up some of my dirty music in order for it to be accepted into a movie. The Secret First Lady.
Okay.
Which is a adaptation of a book for Rose Bush. So Eddie Bauer has helped me. He has helped me in any way that I think I can call him for. So Eddie Bauer was big in the hip hop scene, and he had the Massacre series, which started as the Mud Massacre, led to the female Mud Massacres, which we did 2 of.
I saw you on that.
I did both of the female Mud Massacres. Now, so the Mud Massacre was all men initially. They did the men one, and so he held me back, and he wanted to do a girl one.
Yeah, because would have been some hurt feelings.
Well, I said I can go with the boys.
Yeah,
I want to go with the boys.
Okay, I understand that.
And so at the time there was, some discontent from some of the female rappers in the city, and it didn't work out at first. So I gotta go with the boys, and that was the second Mud Massacre. That one was hot. They ended up splitting that one up, which kind of took away from the dynamic of it. I feel like we didn't, the more hip hop one didn't get as much attention as the other one. But that's okay. So we got the female mud massacre, and the female mud massacre took off. It went viral for
I saw that
for
too.
what viral could do at that time.
Yeah, I saw that too.
You know, at that time.
Yeah.
So all the heavy hitting female
Yeah.
rappers in the city. One of my favorites and one of my good friends, Two-Tone. There's a lot of females on there. Karma is one of my good friends. Ivory, Black Madonna.
All right.
Yep. So we got a lot of.
Okay, I've got a Two-Tone story too.
Yeah.
I met Two-Tone. I've always liked her work because she goes all in. And I remember when Nipsey Hussle had passed, we had a special edition of the Final Call newspaper that people were taking this paper and reselling it on eBay for thousands of dollars. And I had a few issues left, and she hit me up and said, "Hey, look, can I get one of those?" Because we weren't going to print anymore. And she's a genuine, and you're right, you know. So shout out to Two-Tone.
That's my girl.
You already know what it is, and when they make the Brother Washington, movie, hopefully,
We gonna all
Oh,
support that.
that's right.
We
That's
gonna be
right.
there.
All right. That's what I'm
Front and
talking
center,
about.
front and
Man, I'm all happy.
Yeah.
Man, I love this. I wanted to ask you about something else. Because I'm seeing Jody saying, "Hey, don't you have time for me?" Nope. But anyway, no. We'll get Jody on. The best in Toledo. We were going through your file as we do before we bring guests on, and Jody had said, "Hey, look, because I'm talking about the Mud Massacre. I'm talking about your website. I'm talking about some of the things that we could play during our break." And he said, "Hey, don't forget about Best in Toledo."
Best
All
in
right.
Toledo. Shout out to the Toledo City paper for showcasing the best of the best. And like you said, it takes a lot to be able to say you're the best. You got the bragging rights for the year. I'm able to say now proudly that I have the most wins of a hip hop artist, a Black hip hop artist, of a female hip hop artist.
Say that.
And so, they released that March 1,
That's right.
Female History.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
Female
right.
History.
That's right.
So
And that's
last year I was
and we got you
runner-up.
here on Women's History.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
so
That's what's
last
up.
year I was runner-up to B Will. Shout out to B Will. So second place ain't
And that ain't no slouch.
Yeah,
All
second
right.
place ain't
Hey,
bad when you in good company.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
So
right.
shout out to B Wills.
You beat me. All right, I didn't. Okay. I didn't. Don't laugh. You didn't have to laugh like that. That hurt my heart. But yeah.
But he had a total of three as well. So
Yeah.
this win takes me to 3 total with the fourth with the runner-up. So, and then I feel that mine is a bit more impactful because I have been consistent with the last 4 years solid.
Okay. One of the last things I want to talk to you about is, if you don't mind, I know I didn't mention this early, but we have a poster up in our podcast studio. It's of She Speaks and her daughter. And today she said, "Have you heard my daughter?" I'm like, "No, I haven't heard your daughter." And she does poetry.
She does poetry. My daughter, Miss Brighton Sunny.
Oh, okay. Okay. Miss Brighton Sunny. All right. Shout out to Miss Brighton Sunny.
She is MCBG, and she's going by now for
Okay.
her stage
MCBG.
name.
All right.
She is one of my students in the Mad Poet Society.
Oh, wow.
I actually stepped away for a little while to allow her to flourish under the care of Mr. Ken Dinkins.
Yeah.
And she has
That's what's up.
she has really taken off. And she is a force to be reckoned with. So she came out this past summer at our showcase, and she is just dynamic. I tried to get her to let me hear what she was gonna put out because I'm like, you can't show up with the you.
That's right. That's
she
right.
speaks daughter. You gotta
Right.
show up a little bit. So,
That's right.
But she wouldn't let me hear it. So she showed up that day and she just wowed the crowd, and she got about 7,000-8,000 views on.
Wow. Okay. That's what's up.
On her
Wow.
post.
Okay.
So, and she gets stopped when I take her out. The attention's no longer for me.
Oh,
It's,
man.
my God,
Okay.
it's your daughter. She's
That's
so
right.
nice.
That's right.
But you'll be hearing more from her.
That's
More from her,
beautiful.
and also more from a lot of the other students in the Mad Poet Society. So we are definitely making a direct difference in the community.
That is beautiful. Last
Baby.
All right. That's
Say
right.
baby.
That's all right.
Allow me to say that. So whenever I give credit to the Mad Poet Society, as I often do when people ask me about my origin story, I go back and I tell them about SET because it is a part of my foundation. It is a part of my discipline. It is where I became a youth mentor. That was first for me.
That's
So
beautiful.
I give credit to you and I give credit to Mr. Muhammad for instilling some of the principles that you guys gave me. And so when you talk about some of my first writings, set raps.
Oh, okay.
Were
Yes,
some
ma'am.
Of some of the first things that I took seriously, and getting on stages and having the opportunity to really hone my craft and getting my stage presence before I even got with the Mad Poet Society and Dave Bush.
Well, we were digging through the crates, and we came by this. I don't have the DVD, but I'm just going to say it. I came by the DVD of a performance that you did. You had to be maybe 14, and we were in Columbus, Ohio, and we performed before hundreds of clinicians and professionals and experts, and you were like the headliner person that would do the top skit. And I think it was I don't know if it was not Lady Cocaine, but it was about drunk driving, and you were that primary person, and everybody starts to cry because I'm starting to cry now too.
Don't cry. Don't cry.
Because everybody thought that
Wow.
you killed these people and you died. And that was the benchmark of SET.
Yes.
And so shout out to our sister, Miss Jay Hayes, Minister Charles Muhammad, Jermaine Young, AD. That was the best thing that we ever done.
I would honestly say so. Not just because I was a part of it, but it was very big for me. I still have my tag, the name tag from being there that day. I've collected little pieces over the years.
Yeah.
I've been a lot of places where I didn't collect the things, and I don't have all the proof of all the places that I've been, but that is one that I do have, and it was definitely a highlight of my youth career.
We're gonna see if we get that transferred digitally, and send you a copy of that, because that's history. And I've been a part of a lot of stuff, creative stuff. Even our set reflects SET here. All right. Anything that I do came from SET. Even activism, knowing what to say, knowing what not to say, knowing who to have with
around
me.
You.
Right. So my last thing I want to ask you, we're going to take a short break and bring Jody back for community shout outs and concerns. With all you do, we talk about self-care. What do you do to stay balanced? You've been in this game for a minute. All right. A lot of people can't do that. What is it that you do that you can recenter, rebalance? What are some of the things?
Wow. I honestly can say that I am very busy all the time, and I do find myself putting myself on the back burner a lot of times, but it is because I am juggling a lot. I'm taking care of a lot of people. And so I pour myself back into my writing,
that's
into
beautiful.
my creativity, into my art, and teaching others that same act of self-expression, because it is my outlet. It always has been.
That's beautiful. Robin, could you come back maybe at another time, bring some new music or some music that we haven't heard?
I'm always happy to come back. want to tell you that I will come for you whenever you call me.
Oh man, that's beautiful, beautiful. We really appreciate you, and I don't think that Jody loaded up your name on here so that we can. Okay, if she speaks,
Okay.
they got you as a
With
hip
the
hop artist.
hashtag who got bars like this?
Okay, how did?
Yes.
All right, so obviously somebody getting paid this week.
Somebody doing what they supposed to.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Sister, we love you, CSRN. We love you. You are part of the movement because one rap, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said this, one rap from you is worth 1,000 lectures from us. So you are the leader. The youth vibe on you. If they want somewhere to go to sleep, they can come and listen to me. But it starts with you, and we love you, sister, so much.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Hey, family, this is the CSRN, our weekend review. We will be right back.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN Weekend Review. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, use pronoun he and him, and I am with my comrade, my co-defendant, all right? My brother Jody Summers, Spoken Truth. We want to run the some of the shout outs and concerns, the shout outs and solutions right now. Some of the things that you've been a part of. I follow you on social media. I don't know why your name is the only one in my feed, but it is what it is. What are some of the things that you've been a part of this past week? Oh, thank you. All right. That's what I'm talking about. We just got some She Speaks stickers right there.
Stickers.
That's right. That's what's up. That's what's up right there. This is a phenomenal sister. She speaks. And what she's doing for young people, she's just not being awesome by herself. She's also giving her gift to others so that they can be great too. All right. She even gave me some gifts today so I could be great. All right. What are some of the things that you've been a part of? I wanted to I want to make sure that I go over our, what did I say? I want to go over. This is live, so hey, it is what it is.
While he's going on and stuff,
Yeah,
let me make sure we don't have any dead space. But so last week, a couple of events that I went to was the Lifeline monthly meeting. We do that with Steve North in the Old West End, where a whole bunch of artists come together.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. And it's kind of like a collage of everything, like way back 8 years ago when I started my first open mic, everything. So we have guitarists and poets and singers and all of that good stuff there. So I was there. I was also for Chris Rodriguez, Luke Stockley, and Contron. They had their closing session of their latest art gallery, which was a dedication to graffiti. And so I was there for that. And that was really beautiful. Actually, this Saturday on the 11th, they're having their opening reception.
Right.
So if you guys can hear me out there, could you put a thumbs up? Because, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So they can't hear you?
Yeah, they can hear me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I had to check,
Hey.
being producer and all that good stuff.
Hey, okay.
But yeah, so the opening reception for that is this weekend. Also, Dirty Kicks, you guys might know him around town. He's having his closing reception at the art gallery that's on Jefferson. So they're both kind of similar. One is River House Arts. That's the one downtown with Dirty Kicks. And the other one is East River Gallery. So, I try and go to as many art galleries as possible. Of course, we have the Truth Art Gallery, the one and only Black-owned art gallery in the city, downtown on Adams. And speaking of that, this 9th, hopefully She Speaks can make it too. Keisha Renee.
All right.
Kay
I know
Renee.
her.
Yep.
Okay.
She's having her second, and she's going to be doing this every month, but her second open mic this Thursday coming up. She's urging everybody to go on Eventbrite right now and purchase your ticket because last month we did fill up very fast. There still might be some open mic spots. I'm not sure, but I know they have a whole bunch of lovely features like Hunter Prey, Lovely, I'm at Peace Behringer, which goes by Poetically Divine, and a couple of other people. I'm not on the list right now, so this is just kind of stuff from memory. Try and let you guys know what's out there. And for my super awesome people out there that like comic books and stuff like that, Toledo is hosting the Comic-Con, or Fantastic-Con as we call it,
all right,
this weekend. So that is Saturday and Sunday. I'll be there Sunday giving out all of the artists that come, like I did last year. If anybody caught my feed and stuff from last year, my art isn't just about me, it's about us. So when I go to things like these where I know national people are, I drop books off, I drop artwork off, talk to them for a moment. I'm not so much into the take a photograph, but I will leave you and make sure you have a good piece of Toledo, some understanding. So that's what I plan on doing when I go to Comic-Con, Fantastic-Con. And there's also in the same building at the same time on the same days, the Toledo Fine Art Fair. So there'll be jewelry and a whole bunch of other stuff all downtown all in this little small area. Also, this Saturday at 4 o'clock is Uncloistered Poetry at the Attic. Shout out to Joni McKentry. I'll be there as well. I never really stopped doing stuff, but yeah, that's going on this Saturday.
All right.
And it's Branding Littlebridge, a solo exhibit. That's the new one coming up
Okay.
at the East River Gallery. And one more thing going on this Sunday is the Mad Hatter's Tea Party, which kind of fits up my alley. By an awesome friend of mine named Autumn, who's an author and stuff like that. And
Is that
she
awesome,
used to
Autumn Janine?
Autumn Janine.
Okay,
She
all
just
right.
came
Name
back from
dropping.
New York not too long.
Yeah, I know
not
these
too long
people
ago.
too. All right.
Yep, the former curator at the Truth Art Gallery. So shout out to you. She's also the only person I've ever let tailor my clothes. So when you see me in New York or Chicago and stuff like that, and I got on that awesome blue suit, that is her work.
I saw that suit. Okay.
Yep. And all of my stones, and whenever I do, because life is interesting. So all my stones and crystals and bones and stuff like that I'll be talking about. Every now and then the cord, gets a little loose and stuff. She's the only person I let touch my ancestry to restring them and stuff like that. So and then there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, but that is going to be on the next episode because we don't want to stretch this out too long. They're already looking like they want to flicker the lights on us.
Yeah, they do.
But one awesome thing about She Speaks Too is a couple of weeks ago, and I found something out she had mentioned on the show. She was a Girl Scout.
What?
Yeah. So
okay.
Vanessa, I want to say Vanessa Underwood. She also runs, if you guys are out in food truck season coming up, she runs the grocery store, corner store truck. So mobile carry out. But she invited me to go speak to some Girl Scouts, Troop 1313. And look who came. She Speaks came. So you probably see that actually right now.
That's
as
what's
my
up.
profile cover.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was an awesome experience. The piece I read there was I grew up on PBS, which is almost fully memorized now. I look forward to going to WGTE and performing that for them and having Big Bird come out and all that stuff. But yeah, and it is National Women's Month, right?
That's correct.
So, shout out to all of
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. Shout out to all the trailblazing women that came before to make sure that they can vote, that they can have rights, that they can, have some say in this world other than be in the kitchen or whatever they did before. All
Lord.
of that stuff.
All right. We'll have to shut you down. No. But yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, see, normally we would have Ruth here.
Yeah.
I miss Ruth.
All right, yeah. We don't have Ruth.
Shout out to Ruth.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the trailblazing women that came,
That's right.
and just like with Black History Month, that inspire the youth and the generation to keep pushing forward, to keep pushing that envelope and telling them, no, I won't take this. I will build my own table.
Right.
That type of people.
Right.
Those type of people.
And listen, while we're on community shout outs and solutions, I wanted to go through Sean Nestor's in Toledo, and this is volume 10, issue 9, March 4th. 2023. There was just a couple of stories that I wanted to mention, lift off of this brother's page. The first is regarding several candidates have filed to run for city council's district seats, which will be for election in November. I'm going to be working the polls then.
Me too.
Sean Strong will be challenging incumbent John Hobbs for District 1. So look out for that. Adam Martinez and Patrick Harvey will be competing for District 2 seat that's left vacant by term limits. Blair Johnson, who was in the studio last
week, Mr. Toledo,
he will challenge incumbent Teresa Gaddis in District 3. Venice Williams is running unopposed in District 4. Okay, Venice, ain't nobody want no smoke? I guess not. All right. And Tom Names will challenge incumbent Sam Meldon in District 5. And
I know Tom.
Right. He was I think Tom had came to one of our forums. All right. And also Torres is running unopposed in District 6 because no race has more than 2 candidates. No primary election for the seats will be held in May. Also, I wanted to lift this story regarding Starbucks. It says workers at Starbucks in Maumee the one off Dussel, became the first in Toledo area to file for a union election on Tuesday. About 300 locations across the United States have established unions at Starbucks locations since the first store became unionized in 2021. So, hey, y'all go ahead and get it. Y'all get it.
Gonna be some interesting taste in
That's
coffee.
right. That's right. So those are the things that I wanted to lift from Sean Nestor this week in Toledo. And thank you, Sean, for keeping us up to date and also for making sure that we have something to report out for Toledo that's activist based. Much love and respect for Sean Nestor and this week in Toledo. All right. I think that covers it. If there's something that I forgot, we'll run it next week. All right. Because we're going to be back here next week with well, you'll find out. All right, I don't want to just start talking too much. Hey, listen, when we talk about, as we wrap up with 5 minutes of heat, what do you have today for us?
So today is all of the stuff, and I say to check my page as frequently as possible, like actually go to my page and check it, because now is about to be I guess tour season. My 8-year anniversary is on the 23rd. I am booked until July.
Okay.
So I got movies planned, an album planned. Toledo Project is coming. That's an even longer story. Giving out the Black Santa Claus box project things and podcasts, radio shows. I woke up this morning and I booked 3 more.
Okay.
The day before yesterday, 3 other people added me to more anthologies. So I kind of get busy at times. So you may not see me on social media, but
all right,
click those links, check those videos. You can check my YouTube if you want to know how I went with Shaking with Paper a few years ago to where now I headline shows and host concerts. Speaking of concerts, last shameless plug, on the 18th, Main Street, 230 to 230, we have the Mud, I can't remember all the names of the stuff, but we have a concert going on for artists and everything like that. So 230 to 230 Main Street, Toledo, Ohio, 29 different artists, like 8 different vendors. I'll be hosting, I'll be vending, I'll be performing. So come on out. Also, the Northwest Ohio Teen Book Festival in Rossford. That is from 9 a.m. until like 3. So I'll be there judging the open mic portion of that as well before running over to my concert.
Oh, so, judging?
Yeah. I do judgings and all kinds of stuff, films and you name it. How do I accomplish all of this? Because I don't see people as competition. Again, I'm self-taught, so I never got the whole I need to be prestigious in some place like that. Over my career, there's places I wanted to perform. I'm still going to touch this Apollo stage, but a lot of it just came from enjoying art. So none of that would have came to pass if I did not honor the woman that gave me life.
Ooh.
So,
all right.
Speaking of Women's Month, I do want to tell you guys, this is from the Childhood Trauma series, that book with the beautiful butterfly on it. So forewarning, if you have lost somebody, this piece will hurt. It's called Mom. Everybody ready?
We're ready.
Let's begin. Peace. Mom. Sometimes, yes, sometimes, when I'm just getting up and life is a little bit foggy, I can remember, yes, remember the perfume you wore. If I concentrate hard enough, I can just see a smile looking down on me, reminding me, yes, reminding me that everything will be okay. When the nights are cold and I feel alone, I can just imagine, yes, imagine the kisses you left on my cheek. But I don't, yes, I don't remember your voice anymore. I can't remember the strength it gave me as a child. I've heard so many voices and so many sounds that pierce different parts of me. Even, yes, even if I've only heard them once. It's like a memory I can't hold on to. Those 5 seconds, yes, 5 seconds where you're so in tune to your dream. and then it's gone before you could even say it out loud. This memory that was so vivid, complex, and just filled with life is now a scattered screen of scattered pixels, just daring you, yes, daring you to find a pattern. Sadly, I've become numb to the outside sources. They just don't fit the pitch, yes, the pitch I'm looking for. And even though I know that sound can never be repeated, I still remember your face, the favorite food you loved, the artist you would blast loudly as you rapidly cleaned the house. I can even remember your nickname for me. But the vibrations, yes, the vibrations in which you spoke escaped me. I still carry a picture. It has never left my side, reminding me that no matter where I go, I will always, yes, always have a piece of you, a recorded piece of history of the woman that gave me life, which I shall keep with me, yes, keep with me until the day that I die. And even when my heart feels like giving up, I can look in my wallet where the most valuable, yes, piece of parchment I own is a picture of you and me. Love you, Mom. Miss you, Mom. It's not poetry. No, it's not poetry. It's the thoughts, yes, thoughts in my head that I've only shared with the people who care. In peace.
And as we're done, we snap our fingers. Beautiful job, brother. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. Jody, I also wanted to make sure that we did our shout outs and concerns. I failed to mention Mount Olivet Lutheran Church or Mount Olivet Church right there on Monroe Street near Alexis. They had a social justice program this weekend, last weekend, and I was there to present on behalf of the Multi-Faith Council and CSRN, and we.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Well,
you didn't even give me a call hey.
You got 1,000 things to do. I need to do at least one, all right? So shout out to Nate, Amy, and everybody that organized that. Regarding CSRN, if you want to support us, you could support us by subscribing, liking our YouTube channel, sharing it, and making a comment whenever you see us online. This is our YouTube channel. If you go to Community Solidarity Network, you'll see all of our podcasts. Make sure you subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers, all right? It may not sound much to you, but it's like a million. It's like a million to us. And if you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App, that's CSRN, or hashtag CSRN 419, or PayPal, CSRN 419. You can follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, listen to us on Spotify, subscribe to us on YouTube, and hey, follow us on Twitter.
Yep.
I think I said all the things. And don't forget, we still have our Black Lives Matter signs. Hit us up on our inbox for the Black Lives Matter signs. Hit us up on an inbox for the defunct Toledo Police Department signs.
They even have some shirts.
Yeah, we still on that. All right. Like we never left. And lastly, Jody, our picture behind us is Sister Bisa Butler. Unfortunately, our tech team cannot light the studio without putting a light in front of him like he's Iron Man or something. But hey, look, we'll work it out.
Yeah, but that's okay, because you know what? You can come down to my branch library and see it yourself, check out a book or two, or you could go to our actual library and see the actual Bisa Butler while it's still here before, things at museums don't stay there forever. So
I thought we had the actual. All right, okay. Hey, somebody gypped me.
We got the one that you can touch.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right.
So this is a one that is specially made for the library, and we sneak it in here every now and then when we got the show, And
Okay.
when they come by,
All
knocking
right.
on the door now, like, hey,
Give us our painting back. No, dog, we got this now. Hey, listen, and as always, all lives can't matter until what?
Black Lives Matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
All Black Lives Matter.
Justice or else?
Yeah, yeah.
Peace.